What's up, guys? We got a special surprise for you today. We're at the Spark Secret Jungle
Stash?
Secret Jungle Stash. They're doing some construction or something in the back there, so it might be a little loud. But go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, I'm Nick. I started Spark Speed Shop, I guess as a whole, as a drift community, dealer, all of the above. And this is one of our vehicles for sale. The car itself, yeah, this is a 1989 Nissan Cedric Cima. What's neat to me, and I didn't know any of this till I had this car because it's such a weird anomaly. The Cedric and the Gloria are what most people know. This is the longer version for tax purposes. So you could only basically register one of these. It was longer than the normal length, I guess for less taxes. And if it was over a certain length, you know, diplomats, taxis, police, etc., were the only ones really using them. And that's kind of the history of the cars there, never imported here, but it's the Y31 chassis that became the Q45 in the US. And this one's kind of neat, the Y31, because even when they made Y32 and Y33, they kept making these as fleet, taxis, all kinds of vehicles. So parts are, not to say plentiful, but a lot of things cross over. And yeah, just a good all-around platform with air suspension. You can switch to an S chassis.
Yeah, you were saying earlier about the suspension and the driveline.
Drivetrain is very similar to the Z32 90 through 96. VG30 DETT is what they had, twin turbo. This is a single turbo. We never got that in the States. But a lot of the bottom end stuff converts, electrical, things like that. Just as most people who's ever touched a VG know, it is the worst thing to work on, but this gives you a little more access with one turbo instead of two in the way. So we'll show you that in a minute. It's not the prettiest, but it's functional. What I think is probably the neatest was the late 80s and Japanese era of technology, because, you know, we all remember Nintendo and camcorders, Sony Walkman, all that stuff blew up in the late 80s and it all came from Japan. They threw everything they could in this car, and I'm sure we'll cut to some other stuff here in a sec, but
that's one thing I really found interesting about this car is that you have the wipers on a side view mirror. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was the first time I seen it, and I walked, or I wanted to go into an AutoZone and ask them if they had 3-inch wiper blades to see what they would say.
Get some Rain-X versions.
Yeah, sponsor us, Rain-X, come on, let's do something.
And then on top of that, I mean, you might have noticed this is just kind of hanging there, but there's no, on either side, column, which I think is super sleek.
Stay there and I'll show you. Yeah, there's a neat fold down on the passenger side. So they can actually hook up their seatbelt.
Oh, wow.
And then cross themselves over in 1989. But obviously rolling,
so high tech.
rolling around solo, yeah, you want a big pass through for sure.
Yeah, this is like, we were just talking about this right now. I like this a lot. Well, obviously in the 80s and 90s, smoking was very popular in Japan. So everyone has an ashtray, but not just an ashtray, their own cigarette lighter.
Let's see if it was used.
That's
pretty clean.
That's actually incredible. That is attention to detail.
Seriously. Let's see, weird stuff. 1989 air suspension was kind of a weird feature. It's still a fully functional air suspension system, and
from the factory. That's
from the
incredible.
factory, and they the pumps are tiny, so you know it's real slow. There's no huge tank. You could probably upgrade that, but it does have an air controller that lets you dump it farther and higher than factory settings. So,
want to show them how the steering wheel works there?
The steering might be my favorite feature. For one, the controls. I mean, again, 1989, you had HVAC, radio, volume. It's all functional, but more importantly, when you turn the wheel, it stays centered.
I love that. I don't know why. It's just like a weird quirk that throws you off at first, but that actually looks pretty cool.
And it's one of those things that everybody gets in it first or even pulls away, and then they notice it, and then it freaks you out. Yeah.
Well, what was your friend at the tire shop?
Yeah.
That really threw him off when he started backing up. He's like, whoa.
He's already moving, and like, what the hell is this?
It's a beautiful dash, though. It actually kind of reminds me of almost like a BMW dash in a way.
You know, to me,
very
like
elongated.
That 90s, late 90s era of dashes, and these buttons were probably my favorite from Nissan and Infiniti at the time. But that era, some of the Y32s have a little bit newer stuff, but yeah, I just love kind of that time capsule. To me, it's a little newer than the rest of the car looks outside for that interior. But again, they were throwing all the technology and stuff. Supposedly, this is neat, the door seat controls look a lot like 90s Mercedes SL and other various model Mercedes. I can show you on this one. These seat controls, I'm almost positive, were stolen, trademark, copyrighted, whatever, by Mercedes, and then no longer offered in Nissan vehicles, but then all of a sudden appeared in Mercedes vehicles.
I wouldn't be surprised if they shared some parts, for sure.
Surprisingly, rear power reclining seats.
Wow.
That one's, let's make a move, because that is kind of neat, yeah.
That is incredible. Look at this control panel here for the rear passenger as well.
I think I'm all the way back. Yeah, there you go.
I like how there's even fabric.
A little cushion.
Yeah, there's a little fabric so that there's no gap and nothing gets crammed in there. Oh my God, that's incredible. I have never, ever seen reclining rear seats.
And working 30 years later.
Yeah.
The TV tuner was kind of a neat option on, actually, I think the book shows some of
You
those.
did mention a TV. Where would that have been?
So they had a center console TV option. This is the Type 2. There's other, I think it shows in the book here, both of them, the TV and a few other cool options. Few dead body size trunk.
Yeah, Yakuza style.
But I'll show you my favorites first, then we'll get to the TV.
Oh, this is great.
I don't know what you call that, but it turned out to be a humidifier. I thought it was to gas secret agents in the back seat.
Knock out your rear passengers.
Entry key card was kind of neat. They do feature the steering wheel, the seats. Heated seats. I didn't see that.
Did this book come with it?
No, I eBayed this one, but this is for the model. There's a rear TV there, it looks like. The parking pole, of course, the curtains, and then the rear reclining, I think, should have gone only with the pass-through, which I think was like a Crown and President thing. And yeah, that told me you get driven around in this car when you can stick your legs all the way to the front. But let me find you the TV one. That's probably my favorite.
Now, will this come with the car when it's sold?
Indeed, this is included. There you go. I don't include Japanese golf though. There it is. There's the better shot.
Of course, but it's a car for high class people.
Indeed.
So this would fit all of your golf clubs.
I think they show that also. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And GPS, 1989.
Wow, that looks really good for that year.
Like
that looks better than my 2013.
That or like some of the 90s Lexus I can remember sucked. And then the white one has this interior, which is gorgeous.
Is beautiful.
Yeah, except it was stabbed somewhere with a knife during whatever happened in that car.
Why would they do that?
But yeah, this has a majority of the options, I think, because there's a Type L. They show all three of them there at the back.
And this is all the colors and everything that came with?
Yeah, color chips, cloth colors. Here we go. So there's Type 1, Type L, Type 2S, and then Type 2 Limited, which is by the steering wheel, what I can tell we have.
Yep, that looks like it.
The only thing we didn't have is Type 2 Limited AV, which would have included probably the TV or the nav unit in there.
Gotcha.
So still a high trim model. They're all V6 turbo, VG30s. Not all the turbo though, there's a VG30D.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but this is a turbo vehicle.
Indeed, let's go to the engine bay.
And I'll be honest with you, I've seen like the Nissan Presidents or whatever they're called, Presidentials, but I have not really seen many of these. I think I've maybe seen one.
And I don't know why more people don't import them. This was produced in a higher number for that early chassis, the Y31. 32s also had a pretty good production run. I think a lot of VIP people like the 32 more. But yeah, to me, it's a classier version of the 32 that's more popular. It's just maybe harder to find the older ones. Nice. Single turbo, VG30 DET, and every Google search will bring up DETT stuff, so it makes it impossible to find things.
All right, so this was the pit work battery you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess
still in Japanese there. I like that. And then this is the air compressor?
That is the air compressor that runs the air suspension, yeah.
It's so small, you would think it'd be somewhere hidden in the trunk or something, but no, I guess
no tank, no nothing. Yeah, that's why it takes longer. But that, and we did the R134 conversion. Thanks for waiting with us, Brandon, while we did that at the shop earlier. Yeah, it does have crispy AC now, and looking for a new owner. Somebody take advantage of it.
How much were you selling it for?
I was originally at like the 10-12 range, and pretty much want to stay at the 10 bottom dollar, but that number usually scares people with double digits. So, a 10,000 OBO. Make me an offer.
I think this is a beautiful car. And actually, that's how we kind of linked up. I was scrolling on Facebook looking just at like nice cars, because everyone does that. I don't know, I can't even, I'm not even looking for a car right now, but I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I saw this thing and I was like, dude, I gotta know more about this. And I was like, I want to take pictures of this thing. It's so beautiful. So I sent him a message. We linked up on Instagram, and then here we are. So it's actually pretty cool that's how we can, meet people and kind of network. And you always find cool people no matter how far they are. I drove 3 hours to get here to see this thing because it was so beautiful. But I think it's worth it. Honestly, if I was looking for a car, I would have paid 10 for this without even
seriously,
questioning
if and I've had sports cars, I've had not really VIP, but if somebody wanted to get into any kind of a show or just cool cruiser or anything, to have it all done for that amount of money, you'll do some personal touches and maybe fix a crack in a piece of plastic.
I mean, it's still a really old car, I need a 30, 40-year-old
You'll have stuff to do. Yeah, it's not done. But yeah, for that cost, I think, you can't purchase more fun or more options for 10 grand around here. Speaking of meeting though, stay tuned for more drift ride-alongs, because I think that's what we'll be doing next.
Oh shit.
Because that's really
that would be nice. I mean, since I moved here, I haven't got to do any drift stuff, car show stuff. Honestly, this is like my first time getting back into the car community in Florida since I moved. Obviously, you guys know that everything I did was back in California, and it's been a while since I've posted. So hopefully we can try and get some more content out, be a little more consistent with it, and meet some more great people.
So I got a hot, what do you call that? Hot take for the comments.
Yeah.
California car scene, Florida car scene.
Oh man.
Versus what you saw this morning. That was a pretty good show.
I'm okay. That's a tough one even for me, man.
Comment below.
I'll have to see some more. Yeah, you guys comment below. But I mean, you have to have been to both places, because Cali, I'm gonna be honest, man. They come in strong.
This is true.
They got a really, really good car community.
I feel like honestly, even being a Floridian now, I didn't grow up here, but I've been here 20 years. That it's a neck and neck thing. Texas tries to fight in the middle. They got trucks down, but
Texas, they're not even in that. They're not even in the battle.
But to me, that's an East Coast, West Coast. California car scene, Florida car scene. There's nothing else in between. Sorry, East Coast people. All right, so behind the pearly gates, we're under construction, and it's a mess. But here lies what started this whole shenanigans. Was donor number one came as a Vandal special. Part of that.
Smash the windows.
There is dual layered glass that is broken with 2 sets of glass. I'll show you on the back one's probably a little easier to see here. It just honestly piqued my fascination with these cars when I saw the dual layer windshield, and this one obviously was vandalized a bit. They busted out everything, and so that was why we ordered the blue car from Japan. Blue car showed up. It was too nice to demolish to fix this one. Therefore, we took the body kit, the wheels, exhaust, a few other bits and pieces, and put them and made the blue car whole. Get the paint shit out of here.
I love this man cave, man. This is like the epitome of poor guy. It's absolutely incredible. He's got engines, blocks, you name it, everything all strung about. He's got the pistons and rods over there. I gotta show him this, dude. This is crazy. Look at this. This guy works. Like you can't say he's not working on his stuff. Like, oh my God. I thought my garage was filled with stuff, but wow. It's got like a organized chaos to it.
Organized chaos is a great way to describe it. Yeah,
I love the board up here. It looks like you really get into it.
It was a mishmash of like housing stuff before we're in the middle of relocating our shop right now, as you may have heard, the Secret Sash, and needed a place to kind of combine everything together. Obviously, these are mine Supra. Everybody knows me for MK3 Supras because everybody loves MK4 Supras. But I had one as my first car in high school. Literally, my first car was a 7M 87 Supra, Target top, the whole 9 yards. Almost spitting image of this one that I'm building a streetcar version out of to relive my childhood, apparently. And the opportunity came up. I bought this one at auction, crashed, needed a rear quarter, drove to North Carolina and paid $500 for this shell. When we got there, it had a full roll cage in it by some hillbillies in the woods. we had to touch up a few things, but long story short, I couldn't cut this car up to fix the other one and turn this into...
Got attached to it, huh?
Exactly, the current drift car. So yeah, this is my current drift car. I left the 100 on here because I was going to light it on fire. I thought I blew the motor last week, and luckily I think we're good. But yeah, this is my my little baby. She's been to, as you can see, Atlanta was our last event on there. Everything from Sebring to Atlanta to Orlando. Pretty much all over. It's just a party car. I don't compete. We have other drivers that drive with us that do comps and stuff. But yeah, if you want to see any of the drift clips and/or reach out about the Cima, Spark Speed Shop's usually the best way to reach me at Instagram, or find us online on Google. It's pretty easy to find. Yeah, it was a full-on
Built for
shell.
use.
I think they previously used this car for like chump style racing, or it was gonna be used for it. The guys that I bought it from, endurance race or chump race, one of these cars, NA. And so when I saw it with the cage, and I think I can pop it open here, you can get a little bit more view. I knew it had a little potential as more than just a car in the woods. So we added the fuel cell, put in the seats, obviously, fixed a few of the door bars. Oh, I can show you my favorite feature on here though. This one's kind of braggadocious.
What the hell is that?
So
Wait, what? Do that again?
there's a little story to it. I had no windows when I built the car, and it was great. You know, drifting, you don't need windows, nor do you want it to break out. But traveling there on an open trailer, I didn't want it to get rain and shit in there, and I didn't want to tarp it every time, and you know, just whatever. So I put on different doors that I had from a parts car. Then I realized these doors have shaved door handles, or no door handles. And then I realized, okay, two things. How do I get in from the outside if it's, you know, windows up? And passengers, just as an emergency, I mean, I have a door handle in there, but we did add 1990s, come on, mini truck door pops.
That is so cool.
I'll tell you what, it is the funnest thing to pull up to somebody for a ride along is like standing there with a helmet for a ride along. I'm just like, get in.
Come on.
But it gives me a way to, yeah, there it goes. That one.
Both sides.
Oh, of course, yeah, you gotta
dude,
do
that
it.
is, I gotta show that too.
It's cool when I first did it and I could do like an aerial and both would pop.
You good?
Hey, you want to hit it? You can do it in front of the camera.
This one right here?
Lock is the driver, unlocks the passenger.
All right, let's see.
Sometimes you gotta
Wow.
catch it just right.
Dude, that's cool though.
I think all I gotta do is tighten
That's like, it's so unnecessary, but I love it.
exactly, unnecessary. But cool factor was worth
Yeah,
it.
honestly, dude, I'm gonna have to hit you up for that in the future because
Definitely,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do that on a car. I don't know which one, but at some point in the
everybody should
future.
have a car with them. It was a big mini trucking thing in like the 90s, and you know, like when Lambo doors first came out, people probably did those.
That's
on
exactly
there
what I was
too.
thinking. I'm like, that's in the same realm as Lambo
Yep.
doors. Like that would be awesome to just pop it and then have the door just kind of come up.
Seriously,
like,
yeah.
That's so cool.
I wish I could start it for you, but last week we were supposed to do a clean culture event in West Palm. I was testing tuning, and I heard a loud bang and lost all oil pressure immediately. Shut the car down. Luckily, I think it wasn't the engine, and I can show you what I think it was here. Yes, I know 1JZ, 2JZ people, 7M, whatever, but 7M oil pump pulley snaps inside. And so I think the pump went pop, and then I lost all pressure, and that's where we're at. So hopefully I can revive this engine, but the plan is put a built motor together. These are forged pistons and rods that I'm gonna use to kind of, not Frankenstein, but use two different blocks to build one built motor, put that into the drift car, and then put the old drift motor for its retirement into the street car. That way it can just cruise in there.
How long do you think it would take you to put everything back together?
Luckily, a buddy at a machine shop's probably gonna do it within a week or two, and I'm gonna ask him to put the rotating assembly together for me. But you know, putting it all together, assembling, maybe I'm gonna try for 4 weeks for Mystery Meet in Orlando. 1028, shout out V2 Labs and Sorcery.
There you go.
Throwing a cool event in Orlando, October 27th, 28th-ish in there. Look them up on Instagram, wherever, but that should be a re-debut of the car with the standalone and new built motor. But yeah, this one's gonna be the street cruiser. More of a show car, because I like bringing drift cars to shows, but yeah, it's more fun to bring a show car to a show.
You want to have both, show car and race
Exactly,
car.
yeah. So I'm just gonna pretty much keep it a stock. This is a stock paint color. I just had it painted. It looks real dusty, but just did the exterior, and that's what I was going to put the built motor into, but I think just put a nice 350 wheel, 400 somewhere in there is where I'll end up at on his car. Probably do plug and play type of a standalone, and it was just too.
Just gonna do Link.
I don't probably ECU Master, just because another buddy already owns one. You can come around. That's what really sold me on this one was door panels and like interior and headliner and all that stuff was like still in pretty good shape for.
Yeah. So got all your stock interior in here. Nice color. I like those.
Right? Yeah.
Old 80, 90 colors. I wish they'd bring that back. I'm a little more like some like velour and velvet
I was
and like.
just gonna say the velour, dude.
Yeah.
Especially on these door panels. These are probably my favorite.
I love it. You never see blue dashes anymore.
Nope. That maroon, the Mercury Capri that was at the show today had like the closest thing to the maroon interior that came in these, and it's the same thing, just all plush velour style. But yeah, this one will be a long time coming. I've always wanted, like I said, childhood dream to relive my first car again. So 20 years later, and yeah, hopefully maybe a future episode we'll get this thing done. I'll bring it up to you.
Absolutely,
that'll
man.
be a fair deal for coming down.
Absolutely.
Say hi to your friend.
Hey,
turn around.
Look at me. Oh.
Looking for a toy, probably. Oh, you found it? Oh, you gonna say hi?
All right, guys, had a fantastic time. Thank you so much for, taking the time to show me your vehicles and going through all this.
Yes, Ash.
He's also saying goodbye. But that's it for today. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get some lunch, get something to eat. It's super hot. As you can tell, I'm drenched. Ignore that. But thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Spark Speed Shop. Check them out on Instagram. Links in the description below. And if we hit a drift event at some point, come out, check it out, meet us. Catch you guys later.